Right around the year 1200, a well-preserved wooden statue was found in a fisherman's house in a small Norwegian village, Nidaros, now called Trondheim. The statue was just under 6 inches high, not including its immaculately carved pedestal. On the front face of the pedestal, there was an inscription, Nisse, riktig størrelse. English translation reads, Gnome, actual height. Primarily located in Western Europe and North America, gnomes are said to have originated on the Scandinavian peninsula. Over the years, there have been confirmed sightings corroborated by 2 or more witnesses all over the European islands as well as the continent. As far west as the Irish coast and as deep into the east as Siberia. Gnomes have, of course, been spotted as far north as humans themselves, but curiously only as far south as the Balkans and the Black Sea. It is here at the southern border that we have one of the earliest written accounts of a direct interaction with a gnome, described in a way that we might recognize. In 470 AD, Publius Octavius wrote, "Today I saw a miniature person with my own eyes. He wore a red cap and blue shirt. He had a white beard and a green pants. He said that he had lived in this land for 20 years. He said he was a descendant of the race called Kuwaldin, a word unknown to us, and that there were only a few of them in the world." Clearly, as far back as the 3rd century, gnomes were being described in ways that match our modern understanding of the small stewards of the woodlands. Gnomes exist both scientifically and culturally within the gender binary. That said, male and female gnomes are often fairly similar in appearance and stature. Both stand at an average height of 15 centimeters or 6 inches without their signature hat, which they are seldom seen without. They weigh between 250 and 300 grams, or 8 to 10 ounces. The male gnome has the trademark long white beard, which grows long and white well before his hair. He dons a tunic, often in dark jewel tones, and pants, more often dark earth tones. This ensemble is an effort to stand out to those who need him, to make clear to birds of prey that he is a friend and not foe, or food for that matter, and to hide from those he does not want to be seen by. Us. His standard uniform includes felt boots or shoes of birch bark, the outer sole of the shoe often in the shape of a small bird's feet, so as to camouflage the gnome's tracks in any season as he traverses the forest. While the male gnome ventures out, the fairer and fiercer sex is often in charge of keeping the home, the farm, and the surrounding area safe and intact. The female gnome is often seen in head-to-toe earth tones to assist in the camouflaging of not only herself, but her homestead. She wears a gray or green cap paired with dark greens and browns for the tunic and pants or skirt. The female remains shapely and buxom even into her twilight years, aging to 400 and sometimes even 550 years old. The women keep the home in the same way a homesteader keeps their house in good repair, keeps their farm and gardens too, and their domestic life in good standing. Industriousness is the true nature of the gnome home. Arguably, the most recognizable feature of gnomes, beside their hard-working nature, is their tall, pointed cap. Often made of felt and solid from its tip all the way down, some folklorists have suggested that the gnome's cap helps render them invisible to those the gnome deems it necessary to stay hidden from. But we also know gnomes to have a natural, instinctive knowledge and understanding of the woods and nature. And this, more likely, is the key to their ability to elude us and stay hidden. The cap is far more often used as a method of protection for the gnome's head, a way to keep off falling twigs, acorns, hailstones, and other hazards a gnome may come up against when away from the home. As with most articles of clothing, it is not merely functional, but also a way to express one's individuality. A gnome is given their cap at a very young age and keeps it throughout their life. Every few years, new layers of felt are added, and as a child gnome grows, so does their cap. It is said that just as a lizard will surrender its tail in order to escape, so may the gnome give up their cap to a marauding cat. While the cap is certainly a defining feature of the gnome, it is second to the acuteness and strength of their 5 senses. The eye of the gnome is anatomically much like our own, except much more sensitive and astute in every way. The ear of the gnome is large and has an outer layer almost conically shaped, with extra muscles that can be used to point the ears in specific directions to discern specific sounds. The nose of the gnome is also large and bulbous, but possibly the most important and powerful of their facial features. While human-like in shape, the gnome's nose's abilities are far more akin to that of a fox or dog, tracing scents and storing scents, along with the images connected to them. The gnome can see a great deal of the world through their nose. The mouth of the gnome is, again, humanoid. But like humans, the stronger sense of smell deepened the sense of taste. The skin of the gnome is very sensitive, offering a 360-degree awareness of their surroundings, whether in the forest or in their home. The gnome's homestead is a well-organized and even more well-protected underground dwelling, consisting of a hidden entrance that only the residents of the house or trusted colleagues know of. Once you enter, watch out for the weight-based trap, meant to keep out some of the heftier predators. If you make it past that, travel down the long tunnel that leads to the main rooms of the house. Begin by removing your shoes in the boot room, where the gnome also leaves his or her tools, to keep the dirt and grime of the forest out of the main living quarter. In this area, you'll also find the well that supplies the home with water for cooking, bathing, and drinking. Next, enter the living room, the kitchen, and the dining area. These areas are an open concept style for our modern viewers. This makes for the best and most efficient heating, as well as easy movement throughout the dwelling. Off of the main room, you will see many doors, leading to living quarters for the residents. This will vary depending on the needs of the family. You'll have reached the water closet when you come to the very back of the home. You'll find an open-bottom toilet that leads into a deeply dug, natural septic system, thus using the waste to continue to fertilize the forest and surrounding area. Gnomes do not let even their waste go to waste. The gnome's shelter is not only a living space, but also often has a room to practice one of the many gnomish trades. Standard gnomish trades include candle making, beekeeping, glass blowing, metalwork, carpentry, cloth and textile production, basket weaving, and ceramics. As stewards of the natural world, most gnomes have stellar relationships with animals. As the male gnome travels through the forest, he often finds he is needed by the animal kingdom, be it freeing a tangled deer, mending small cuts or contusions on a fox, or releasing juvenile bunnies and raccoons from human traps. The gnome does their best to make themselves useful and to be of service to their friends, the animals. There is so much more we wish to share with you about the fascinating and magical gnomes, but as we leave you now, we hope it is with a curious and open heart that you go forth on your journey to seek out more of the knowledge of this world. Be sure to look around you. There are many things to see that some would say could never be. These things I know. It's true, and I will tell you so. They are there to see for you and me. Trolls and wizards and fairy kings. Birds that talk and fish that sing. And if your heart is true, then you will find them too. In every wish and dream and happy home, you will find the kingdom